All right, back to it, man. I feel like this time, because since we were looking at the water crisis, we just looked at the water crisis that this war was going to present to the world, right? Not just like the parties involved within the war, but yeah, we just looked at the water crisis. We're about to get into some other stuff. Yeah, I'll figure out what to title this segment of the video as we move, right? So.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's look at the map, guys. This is called Lake Urmia in northern Iran. It's the sixth largest saltwater lake in the world, or it used to be. Okay. This is what it was in 1984. This is the shallow. This is the deep. Okay. You guys see that? It's really big, right? 20 years later, guys. This is what it looks like.
Damn.
There's no more water here. You can walk from here over to there, okay? There's some water over here, but it's shallow now. That's how serious the water issue is in Iran. And that's the weak point that the Americans and the Israelis will attack. All right? They want to make sure that Iran has no access to fresh water, which will cause devastation in their nation. Okay, that's strategy number one. Strategy number two is this.
What?
This is a map of the different ethnic minorities in Iran. As you can see, it's a very diverse place. In the center are the Persians, but you also have 10 other groups as well. And in the borderlands, it's basically a different country, right?
Really?
Like, these are basically different countries.
Yeah.
And so these places have more common areas with their neighbors than they do with Iran. Okay, so the second weakness of Iran. The first is the water. The second is the ethnic makeup of the.
The ethnic makeup. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Damn. So when it's real, when it's really real, and it's time to get to war down to it. A whole lot more people might just like turn their backs on the country. You know what I'm saying? Than most people. Then it's just like, yo, will they be able to even have enough military capacity to, face the Israelis / Americans? You think they gonna get to like 2 million troops or whatever? I'm talking about now. What are we talking about? Seeing the ground troops go at it, right? Y'all heard America's planning on like what, 2 million? Getting 2 million of them. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one here, man. And the people living there, the people residing in the country. Yeah, we're gonna see a whole lot of them turning their backs on their
country. So the strategy of the Americans and the Israelis moving forward is to destroy Iran as a coherent nation state, divided into ethnic enclaves, and have them fight over water. That is the grand plan of the Israelis and the Americans, okay?
So the Americans have the water issue, the water crisis, as advantage over the Iranians. I guess because we're already hearing that they're about to attack their water supply, right? Their scarce water supply.
All right, this is the vision where Persia is limited, and then all these other places are sponsored by the Americans and the Israelis. They're given money, they're given weapons, they're given political support, and then this war will wage over water forever. Okay? And this is how you destroy Iran and make sure Iran is no longer a viable threat to you. That is the plan of the Americans. Okay? As you can see, it's a pretty evil plan, and that's why they have not announced it. Right? Because if you announce it, you're like, why are you doing this? What did the Persians, what did the Iranians ever do to you to warrant you coming and destroying their civilization? And the answer is nothing. Right? Nothing. So the Americans are like, why are you doing this? What did the Persians, what did the Iranians ever do to you to warrant you coming and destroying their civilization? And the answer is nothing. Right? So the Americans and Israelis will never admit they're doing this, but if you look at the map of water supply, of ethnic tensions, this is the optimal game theory strategy for them to use against Iran. Does that make sense? This is a long-term plan that they have in place. And it's all moving towards this plan. But Now the question then is, how can the Iranians respond to this? And the answer is this.
What?
This is a map of the Muslim world. Okay?
Okay.
So the light green are the Sunni people. Okay, that's 90%.
Oh my God! Look at yo. The Sunnis are a lot though. And then you get the Shias like literally centralized all the way over there. Yeah, because I mean, you know, oh my God, what?
Of the entire Muslim population, about 2 billion people, okay?
Yep.
Then you have in dark green, the Shia. So as you can see, the main place of the Shia is Iran. Okay? Iran is one of the few Shia nations in the world. But you can also see from this map that Shia are spread throughout the world.
There's some
Okay?
Shia.
And so the first thing that the Iranians want to do is create a jihad to unite all the Shia against the American Empire. All right, so what they want to do is create an uprising.
But how are you going to achieve that?
And it's already happening, guys.
Already happening?
The Shia in Pakistan stormed the American embassy in Pakistan, and the Americans killed a lot of people, okay?
Yeah.
The Shia have attacked the American embassy in Iraq. The American embassy are being attacked in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Right? So the first strategy is to create a international global jihad of the Shia against the American Empire. And it's already happening. It will continue for a long time because the Americans have killed the Khamenei. Okay? And that requires vengeance. The other thing.
And they, who's that? Their leader. Oh snap! The Ayatollah, like the Ayatollah, right? Y'all remember that? The Ayatollah, their leader.
So is that?
Yeah. So they're activated forever, dog. They're activated.
It can unify the Muslim world.
Yeah.
Okay? If you look at this map, most of the Muslim world is actually run by dictatorships that are not popular at all, okay?
Yeah.
And they're allowed to exist because of the American Empire, right? You go to Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Algeria, these places, they're all run by clients of the American Empire.
Yeah.
Right? So if you rally the people who hate their governments and you overthrow them, then that makes Iran the leader of the Islamic world. Not just the Shia.
Oh, so the Shias are also gonna join the I mean what? Wait, no. The Shias are gonna be the leaders, right? Of that whole situation. Because now the Sunnis are gonna, you know, detach themselves from their materialistic ways, right? From the American ways, from the American influences, or the westernized influences. And the unification. So all that light green is gonna go back dark green, right? Oh shit.
World, but the Islamic world. And this creates something called Pax Islamica.
Pax Islamica.
That is the end goal, guys. Okay? If you do that, then you don't have to worry about the Americans and the Israelis anymore. Right? So the Israeli game plan, the American game plan, is to fracture Iran into ethnic enclaves, and they'll fight over water for the rest of their lives, and they'll all die. The Iranian game plan is to create a religious war, a crusade that unifies the Shia people, that overthrows.
So from the American side, it's more political. From the Iranian side, it's a religious war. Yeah.
The American Empire and establish something called the Pax Islamica. All right?
Pax Islamica.
All right.
Right.
So, again, the key is the GCC.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
So the game plan is this. You have to destroy the GCC. Why? Because the GCC is the linchpin of the American Empire. So what the GCC does is this. It sells oil sells oil, and then for US dollars.
Yeah.
Where does it put US dollars? It puts US dollars into the American stock market. All right, so this is investments of the UAE, okay, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait into the US financial markets. As you can see, from 2012 up to today, it's been exploding.
Right.
All right? Because the US financial markets is one of the safest places where you can put your money.
Yeah, yeah.
The intention is this. The intention is, hey, if I cut off oil and these countries no longer have access to US dollars, they're forced to spend whatever resources they have on protecting themselves, okay?
Yeah.
And then guess what happens? The stock market collapses. The stock market collapses. The stock market is the real growth engine of the US economy.
Yeah.
The entire US economy collapses with it. All right? There are about maybe 7 companies in America that accounts for about a quarter of stock market growth, okay? These 7 companies, of course, are AI companies.
AI
NVIDIA.
companies? Whoa.
Microsoft.
So 7 of these companies are AI companies. 7 of these companies are AI companies that make up like a quarter of the stock exchange, the stock exchange growth in America. They make up a quarter of that. That's big. And since the American empire is weakening and weakening, as per the explanation of, we just used game theory to understand how it's weakening. You know what I mean? All of that will, come to mean nothing. Yeah, well, that's just like projecting how the American empire is going to lose all influence, on their GCC affiliations, in the Middle East. But then we understand that was all that made up the American empire, bro. It's the strength and the influence that they had right there in the Middle East because of all that oil right there. Yeah, man, this is really about to be a change in the global world order, right? Let's see it.
Google, Apple, okay? These are the companies, and then these companies are heavily invested in by the GCC nations. So if these nations are no longer able to invest in the stock market, these companies will collapse in value. And with that would lead to economic depression in America. Okay, does that make sense?
So you're telling me everything that these companies, Nvidia and Google and all of that, how they've made the American economy valuable. You telling me that, through things like Google AdSense and all of that, right? You're telling me, these algorithms are gonna fall, like people are not gonna find, putting their presence in making these videos because this is a Google aspect of the American economy, right? You being able to create your content, being paid off for that kind of stuff. It'll lose value, and you know what I'm saying? What? Content creators are gonna be paid less, bro. Like that's what it would mean. Because all that money is now gonna be absent from these companies like Google and these AI companies too. Am I piecing together the right dots here, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, put it in the comments, dog. Am I understanding the effects of this war correctly, bro? Just help me understand, please.
All right, so that is the situation for today. Today was just an overview, guys, okay?
Yes, okay.
I know we covered a lot. I know there's a lot to take in. But over the next few weeks, we will explore each issue in depth and really understand what's really going on, okay?
Yeah, okay. All
right, so any questions, guys?
Nope, not yet.
Any questions about what we've just learned?
Not from me.
Okay.
If other countries such as Italy, France, China, or Russia, they have also joined this war, like, what's the cause of they joined the war? Because of oil or those resources?
because of their affiliations
Okay.
with them. It's the
That's a good question, okay? So I don't want to spend too much time on this question because
Oh, and another thing, it's because of how the Strait, is that the Strait of Hormuz, right? These countries are dependent on that Strait of Hormuz that we just explored. That strait that holds, a majority of the world's dependence on oil, right? That little strait over there by the GCC area. All that oil is there, and obviously a whole bunch of those countries are dependent on that oil. America being one of them. You know what I'm saying? We just explored that. Japan, I think Britain, whatever. The European countries too. So a whole bunch of countries are dependent on that oil, bruh. Now it's like, if you know that you're dependent on, some oil that's going on, like you're a distance away from that oil, but you're dependent on that oil, right? Your economy, how you function. Once there's conflict going on around that oil, you're gonna want to go closer to go and defend your percentage, like, because you're dependent, like, a lot on that oil. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why other countries have to be involved. They're dependent. They're dependent on that oil. They're attached to that oil in some aspects, right?
we'll explore this question as we move along, okay? So the question is, what brings the world into this conflict?
Yeah.
And
Strait of Hormuz.
the easy answer is just oil access,
Yeah,
energy
exactly.
access, okay? They need to protect their energy supplies.
Exactly.
Because remember, it's a very complicated situation because Europe is now fighting Russia. So Europe is not buying any oil resources, energy resources from Russia. Therefore, it depends a lot on the GCC.
Yeah.
So the GCC is not providing them energy, then Europe will go bankrupt. Okay, so Europe needs to enter this war on behalf of the Americans.
It's like, whether you like it or not, brother, like, damn, what's going on? What they own? Fuck, now we gotta be involved. Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Yes.
Okay?
Pull up.
And then you have Russia, which cannot allow Iran to fall, because if Iran falls, then they'll come after Russia next.
Oh, shit.
All right? China is actually neutral. China's okay with either scenario. But that's just the way that the Chinese system is set up. Okay? So we're going to explore this question as we move along. But it's a very complicated issue. All right?
Yeah.
Okay? And each nation will have its own different strategic interests to consider.
Right.
Right? And what we need to know, what we need to figure out is that this war